Coffee with Chase, October 11th. I am pretty burnt out on this series. It's only been a week and a half. I think it's partly these like late night coffees with Chase. I don't so much mind the late night coffee. It can be kind of nice. But it's the late night editing that kind of gets to me. So I'm going to measure out 17 grams of this coffee. I felt like we were moving in the right direction with grinding finer and finer. It's odd that this bean is requiring us to grind so much finer than most other coffees that I brew. But I imagine it has something to do with this particular bean. So I'm changing to a grind size of a 2. Last night, I believe I used a grind size 4. Viewers may have noticed that oh gosh. Viewers may have noticed that this coffee takes a bit longer to grind than other coffees have, and that's because this grinder has this little disc that controls how many beans enter the burrs at a time, which is supposed to help improve grind consistency. But with larger beans, sometimes the big beans have trouble getting through that little hole in the disc. So sometimes it takes a little longer to grind, which is annoying, but the price we pay, right? I was making coffee for a big group of people, and so I bought kind of a cheap bag of decaf coffee. And the beans were huge. They were like clearly a lower elevation, cheaper B or C grade coffee. And it was just taking forever to grind out like 75 grams of beans to make in the batch brewer. And I was like so embarrassed, but it all turned out no big deal. Okay. We'll do a goal of 36 grams out. Portafilter locked in. Let's brew. Okay, decent ramp up to 9 bars. Stream came together, ramping down. Okay, so it's settling into interesting, like 3.5 mils per second. So that's the exact same thing that it did yesterday. And we're a fair bit finer in grind size. So maybe this is just me beginning to learn how this profile works, but one of the ways that this was intended and designed is that it will adjust to your grind size. So I'll be curious to see how this tastes comparatively. Because I imagine that even though this profile adjusts to grind size, there's still an ideal grind size. And I wonder how this one will compare to the last one. This smells a lot more chocolatey than the previous one did. Not quite as floral and acidic, but more warm and sweet. Interesting. Well, cheers. Okay. A bit astringent, like a super dry red wine or something. That's really drying my mouth out. I think less sweetness and character than yesterday's shot had, but maybe a bit rounder and more balanced. Just taken too far with the astringency. So might back off the grind size a little bit for tomorrow and play with temperature. Good night.